All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Um, uh, just wanted to thank you for joining the Navigating South Dakota's Manufacturing Supply Chain webinar. My name is Angela Allen, and I'm a business advisor with South Dakota Manufacturing and Technology Solutions. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what we have to show you today. All right. Right, so today's session will introduce you to a resource designed to help manufacturers, suppliers, economic developers, educators, and other South Dakota stakeholders to better understand our manufacturing landscape. So I'll provide a brief overview of what we do at South Dakota Manufacturing and kind of talk about our partnership with University of South Dakota's Coyote Business Consulting Program. And then we'll walk through the development and evolution of the supply chain mapping tool before spending the majority of our time exploring our new web-based platform. So while we're doing this, I encourage you to think about what you might use the tool for within your organization. And please feel free to add your comments or questions in the chat, and we'll address those during our Q&A session at the end. So whether you're looking for suppliers, researching manufacturers, supporting economic development initiatives, or learning more about manufacturing in South Dakota, I hope you leave today with a practical idea of a resource that you can put to use. So before we discuss this tool itself, I'd like to kind of tell you a little bit about South Dakota Manufacturing and Technology Solutions. It's part of the NIST MEP National Network, and our mission is to help manufacturers improve competitiveness, increase productivity, develop workforce, and support long-term growth. So we work mainly with small to medium manufacturers throughout the state, providing consulting, training, assessments, and technical assistance in various business areas. So one challenge we frequently hear about from manufacturers is sometimes their difficulty finding suppliers in South Dakota or locating certain capabilities or even understanding what South Dakota has to offer. So this challenge ultimately led to the development of our supply chain tool. All right, so for 2024, the MEP Center surveyed clients, and in total, 178 million increased and retained sales were reported. 330 uh, retained jobs and new client investments were 32.1 million, and they realized a cost savings of 3 million per year, 2024. Those were the manufacturers that reported to us those impacts, as well as we have served over 73 manufacturers in the last 12 months alone, and 683 individuals have attended either a continuous improvement workshop or a course that we have provided. Oops, my apologies. So while today's webinar will focus on our supply chain resource, I just wanted to let you know what sort of programs that we have to offer as well. So we have business growth opportunities, leadership development, continuous improvement, automation, cybersecurity, project management, and innovation initiatives. This is our current staff at South Dakota Manufacturing. Small staff, but we work across South Dakota wherever we're needed. And with that, I would like to introduce our partnership with Coyote Business Consulting. Coyote Business Consulting was launched by the University of South Dakota Beacom School of Business, and it provides students with hands-on consulting experience to support organizations throughout the region. So we identified an opportunity to better understand South Dakota's manufacturing landscape, and we recruited CBC students to partner with us on this mission. So what became as a supply chain research project evolved into a multi-phase initiative involving data collection, analytics, automation, mapping, and platform development. So one of the most rewarding aspects of this partnership has been watching the students grow and build upon the previous team's work. So they actually have utilized continuous improvement, and we encourage that with our manufacturers as well. So today you'll see the result of a collaboration and the value that you can create when education, industry, and economic development work together. So this is the current project collaborator, student group, and faculty advisor. So currently I've been working with Tejas and Kunjan and Dr. Tracy for the last two phases of the project, and I haven't heard for sure whether they're joining me again, but it's a good possibility that they will be. And both of the students are working on their internships with different companies this summer, so they were unable to attend as my co-hosts, but would love to do this again in the future. So the supply chain mapping tool is developed through a multi-year collaboration between CBC and South Dakota Manufacturing. Their original idea came from a need that we frequently encountered with manufacturers across the state. So companies sometimes ask us who manufactures this product. Are there local suppliers that can reduce our lead time and transportation costs? What manufacturing capabilities exist in the state besides the ones we know of? Where are the gaps and opportunities within our supply chain? So to better answer these questions, we partnered with CBC to create a centralized database and visualization tool that focused on South Dakota manufacturers. Over three project phases, multiple students worked on collecting and validating our data, building us dashboards, creating mapping functionality, and ultimately transforming our tool into an Excel-based and now into a cloud-based platform. So the result is a searchable resource containing information on over 2,600 manufacturers across South Dakota, and they can help identify suppliers, customers, industry clusters, or business opportunities. So it serves as a valuable resource for economic development, organizations, educators, workforce development, or anyone in the manufacturing sector. So before we look at the tool itself, I'll kind of let you know how the project has evolved over time. All right, so excuse me. Phase one of the project laid the foundation for everything. The team identified which manufacturers should be included. They validated the information and utilized automation tools and AI to improve efficiency and developed the initial mapping functionality. So that was the outcome, and it was launched at the supply chain symposium that we held in 2025, as well as the spring CBC showcase. So this phase demonstrated that there's a significant value in creating a centralized manufacturing database for South Dakota. And in phase two, the focus shifted to building the foundation and improving and expanding the tool. So the team reviewed the original dashboard. They performed additional validation, introduced new metrics, explored future opportunities, and kind of dug into making it into a web-based platform. This helped transform the dashboard into a simple data repository to a more strategic decision-making tool. So phase three, which was last spring, they took the version of the tool that we were demonstrating with Excel and took it and transitioned it into a cloud-based platform, which I'll show you today. So this can be easily accessible through through our website. And instead of it being a downloadable Excel file, it's now an actual cloud-based platform. So they evaluated several technology platforms and selected Airtable as the best fit. So they migrated all of the over 2,600 manufacturing records, cleaned the data, and developed some advanced filtering capabilities that I'll show you shortly. So this phase significantly improved accessibility, searchability, and long-term sustainability of the tool. So for phase four, which will kick off in September 2026, we're hopeful that, with this webinar, possibly another one in the future, that people can submit their ideas for improvement and enhancements that the students can work on during that September through November phase. Some other possibilities include additional analytics, AI-powered capabilities, expanded data sources, improved visualizations, and new ways to search. So today's webinar is also an opportunity to gather feedback for this future development. So before using the supply chain mapping tool, you'll need to create an account. To get started, visit our website, and I will share the slide deck with everyone that's attending and that had signed up for the webinar today to get you the link to our new supply chain mapping tool. So because it's hosted by Airtable, first-time users are prompted to create an account through this invitation process. So it only takes a few minutes and it helps ensure secure access to the platform. So once your account has been created, you'll be able to access the tool anytime using your login credentials. All right, so this is the main landing page of the supply chain mapping dashboard, and it serves as a central hub for exploring South Dakota's manufacturing ecosystem. And I'll actually show you this in a live version too, after I kind of go through all the different parts and pieces. So the data within this tool was collected from D&B Hoovers, and it includes only manufacturing NAICS codes that are 31, 32, and 33. In future releases, we kind of plan to explore adding some more NAICS codes. So if you're familiar with that term and there's something that you're looking for, just let us know and we'll see if we can add it. So currently it contains that 2671 for the number of manufacturers, and it provides the searchable view of manufacturing companies, locations, what industries they're in, and some of their company characteristics. So one of the key benefits of this dashboard is it allows users to quickly move from a high-level information to more detailed analysis. So whether you're looking for a specific company, you're researching a particular industry, or exploring certain regions, the information should be easily accessible. And also you'll be able to find some interactive tables and filters that they migrated from the Excel tool to the platform. And there's some action buttons that I'll share with you to launch into different parts of different platforms. So in the next few slides, we'll walk through some of the features and I'll demonstrate how you can use them to identify suppliers, explore industry clusters, and so forth. And also included in the supply chain tool is a nice handy dashboard 101. So rather than requiring separate documentation, the instructions are actually within the platform. So it provides an overview of major features that you can use for new and returning users as a quick reference guide. So after today, if you need a quick refresher, this is a great place to start. One of the most powerful features of the platform is the ability to quickly narrow large amounts of data using filters. So rather than scrolling through thousands of records, you can focus on specific industry, cities, company sizes, or capabilities. So I'll demonstrate a couple here in a few minutes. So this is the advanced filters by company. So this is, we'll show you some of the company information that's included with each and every company. There is a search bar that you can type in just to see what you can, if you're looking for poet, obviously there's going to be several items that come up. This is just an example that I used when searching for poet. So there's also a company filter where you can actually look and you can filter with a condition, and you can also clear conditions. You can add multiple conditions. So I'll kind of show you some of that as we explore the actual tool. Here's another one where you can explore by city. So everything is listed out by city. Brookings has, for example, 80 manufacturers. If you use the drop down arrow, you would see a list of manufacturers in the Brookings area. This is an advanced filter for employees if you want to see employees with or companies with one employee or 100 to 499, for example. This is where that information would be able to be sorted for you. We also have the information sorted by NAICS Industries. So this is machinery manufacturing. You can come to that NAICS industry and you can see a list of all the ones that are classified by that. And just a disclaimer to let everybody know that they actually, I think if you would like to change your classification for your NAICS industry, you have to contact the database that we receive the information from. So if there's something in here that isn't actually completely accurate, it would be on the company to contact D&B Hoovers, for example, is where we got the information to change their NAICS industry. There's also an advanced filter for NAICS description. This is just an informational portion of the database that kind of just, if you're not sure what the NAICS codes equal, you can kind of look at the list of them and it'll kind of give you the description and the industry there. So this is more of an informational um, area than a searchable field. So, all right. And then there is some data visualization that they added to this. So this is suppliers by NAICS Industry. This was actually something that we had on our Excel, but they brought it over into this Airtable platform and mirrored exactly what they did there. Some of the users that we've talked to have found this valuable, so we thought we would bring that over. And again, if there's anything that you can think of that you would like to see in the data visualization, that would be an opportunity for the students to kind of look at that and see if that's something else we can add at a later date. So in addition to searching and filtering, you can uh, identify your industry concentrations, some of the geographic clusters and trends. This might be valuable for you for strategic sourcing or even, using this as a looking for customers or market analysis. There's another data visualization that's the top 15 manufacturing cities. So that kind of just shows you, the manufacturing clusters in each area. And then there is a growth rate percentage by cities, and I can kind of dig into that a little bit further when I show you the live version. And I could open it up for questions or comments during that time as well. There's also the external business information sources, such as verifying business with the Secretary of State. This was available on our Excel-based tool, but it also is available here. So you can click to verify the business and it'll launch you into the Secretary of State website. And we also still have our batch geo mapping tool that's included. So it's just another button that will take you to that batch geo map where you can kind of slice and dice some of that information. It might be useful for when you're evaluating transportation considerations, supplier clusters, site visits, and just basic understanding of the regional manufacturing strengths. It reflects the filter selections you've made within the dashboard, so you can actually do some filtering on the mapping tool. So now that you've seen the tool evolve from an idea into the web-based platform, I will show you guys how to walk through and use it. It'll do quick examples. And then again, if you want to throw some things in the chat that I can go over, that'd be great. All right. So here is our live version. I have created an account. I actually have several accounts. Um, so this is that main page that we discussed at the beginning. Kind of just a overview of everything, shows you some of those visualization tools, some of the data, unique cities, how many NAICS industries are represented. Here is the verify business button. If you would, choose to look at that Secretary of State website to do some verification. And here's the batch geo map, and I can launch that if I can share that screen for you. So this is just the basic visualization of that. I think right now it's classified by NAICS industry. If we wanted to see by employees, you can quickly toggle that over. Another one maybe would be NAICS code. And let's see here. Entity type, whether it's an independent subsidiary or parent or branch. NAICS description. I talked a little bit about the industry. This is more the description portion of it. So just some kind of fun things you can do with it. There are some more filtering. Might take a little monkeying around. And if someone wants to delve a little deeper in how to navigate the batch geo, I'd be happy to help. All right, so we'll go back to the main dashboard, and here's the dashboard 101 that I kind of went over beforehand. Kind of lets you know, like, just a little bit about what the dashboard or what the Airtable actually is, how it's divided up, how to access the tool. So this is, obviously, if you wanted to share this link with someone else that you know of and you didn't want to have to go to our website, they show you how to access the tool here. The data tab kind of shows you the advanced filters, some groupings and subtotals. And you can export to CSV as well. So the dashboards are more interfaces. We have the mapping dashboard, shows the unique record counts, that pie chart that visualizes the NAICS industry, our two buttons that we have to share with you, a list of the headquarters. That was something that they had added, I believe, in the last phase of the project. And then we get into some of the advanced filters. So these filters help you drill down into the data quickly by city, company, number of employees, like I mentioned before. Then we have those data visualizations, suppliers by NAICS Industries, top 15 manufacturing cities, and suppliers by city. So it helps to get an overview of how the dashboard actually works. So I'll go back to the mapping dashboard. This is that list of headquarters that I mentioned before. So if you just kind of want to see some of those, larger companies that maybe are the headquarters of some of the smaller companies where they're located, gives you phone number, street address. I believe this, anything with a arrow like this should expand to give you a better look at what's represented here. So not only do you see the pie chart, then you have the information below. So and close out with an X. So there's another, the 21 NAICS industries are kind of listed here. Just a list of them actually, so. And then here's the unique cities. So it lists all of the companies and in what city that they're in. So just different ways to look at the information. So you might be able to see it here, might be able to see it another way. So, all right. So, I already actually have an account created, so I won't be able to show you how to create an account, but it's easy enough, and I'd be happy to assist with that if you need any assistance. So, we'll go to the advanced filters first, so you can see the companies. This is where I kind of had that company information page pulled up. So if I'm looking for a particular company, let's go Falcon. We're gonna look for Falcon Plastics. Looks like Falcon Plastics has two locations, one in Brookings and one in Madison. So we can click on the Brookings one and we can kind of read about some of their information, how they're classified, how many employees they have at that facility. Total employees is 266, but 141 of them are in Brookings. Actually, just from my own knowledge, I know that there are over 200 in the Brookings facility alone. So some of the information needs to be updated, and that's something that we might kind of look into doing in the future. But as of the first phase of the project, this information is accurate. So, if we want to just scroll down and look at the Madison group, we can check out that information. It gives you the address information for them. It looks like there's 36 employees at that site. I know they do have other employees in a couple other locations in the US and also in Mexico. So, but this is just showing their locations in South Dakota. If I wanted to do a little more filtering, I could add a condition, which I would need to clear out my search here to add my condition. Oh, let's see where the company name contains Dakota, let's just say, for example. So I added that, so anything with the company name Dakota in it, and it looks like these are your options. So for example, let's go to Dakota Custom Blinds, and then you can pull up the information for that company. And it lists out every column that's available in our Excel tool, which was also migrated into here. Let's see here. We'll go to city, and we can, let's see here. Let's filter by city is Brookings or city is Harrisburg. So then it will list out for you all the companies that are in Harrisburg. You can remove your condition or your filter, and it'll take you back to the whole list if you want to page through it like that. So, employees. This is one of those where you can kind of see if there's one employee, 50 to 99, and so on. If you want to see who's got 100 to 499, just drop down the arrow and it'll give you a list of those records. Also here you can add some filters as well. So if you wanted to see there, if you wanted to see companies that contain the word Dakota in each of the different groups, those would be filtered for you. You can also clear your filter here with this trash can. I'll move on to the snakes industry. This is the one that kind of showed you a list of the ones that begin with 333 machine manufacturing. There looks like there's 261. They're all listed here. You can do some conditional sorting as well here. So we'll do that one again. So now for all of them, for all the NAICS industries, I can see which companies have the word Dakota in them. So, like I was showing you on the slideshow, the NAICS description is more of an informational section. So it doesn't really tell you much except for what certain NAICS codes indicate. So for example, 339999 is all other miscellaneous. Looks like NAICS industry, they fall into that or could fall into that machine manufacturing NAICS industry. So with that, then we'll move on to the data visualizations. This is the suppliers by NAICS industry, like I had showed before. It kind of shows you that there's 190 food manufacturing companies in South Dakota according to this database. You can print the chart. As far as actually seeing a list of the information, this is more of a visualization, so you'd want to use those advanced filtering methods to get your lists. Here's the top 15 manufacturing cities, just kind of gives you a number of how many each of the 15 cities has. According to the database, there's 556 manufacturers in the Sioux Falls area, while there's only 43 in Madison. So growth rate, percentage by cities. So this kind of shows you that, let's see here. You can kind of hover over them. For example, there's 30 or 25 records or 25 companies within the Rapid City area that are experiencing a 3% growth rate out of the 186 companies within Rapid. So this is just kind of gives you a quick little figure like that if that's the kind of information that you're interested in. So it looks like Rapid City is all the salmon color here. So anything looks like Rapid City 11 or 7 of the companies are experiencing 11% growth rate. So out of the 62 companies that are experiencing that same growth rate in South Dakota. So just some kind of interesting visualizations that they created for us. So it looks like you can kind of expand that out and you can see lists of companies by city again, or city. Brookings and Rapid City. Kind of gives you a list there. So, all right. Let me see here. If I have anything other information we want to look at. I can show you that verify business button again. This actually launches and takes us to the Secretary of State website. So if we wanted to look and see if Dakota Granite, if there's a business with that name, a little slow. To prove we're not a robot first, and then it'll let us in, hopefully. All right. So it looks like there is an active business called Dakota Granite Company, and if you wanted to look at some of that information, you should be able to click on it. I would probably use this tool if I'm really digging into a certain company. Um, it's always best to kind of look at their website, that sort of thing, or even give them a call or even Google Map just to see if they're still on the map. So, but that's just kind of how the Secretary of State website works. So with that, I'll stop sharing the actual Airtable database platform. And then I will check to see if anyone has anything in the chat. If you would like to, I can unmute everyone or have everyone on mute if you have any questions, or if you want to raise your hand, I believe you can do that too. I'd like to take some time to answer your questions about the platform.
Well, Angela, this is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I have a question because I was going through the thing today. I'm with the Development Foundation in Sioux Falls. We actually used to put out a manufacturer's directory.
Mhm.
We have since quit doing that. And so when I discovered that Coyote Business kids were doing this, I had talked to them. I think that was last fall or last spring.
Mhm.
But going through, I'm seeing a lot of the ones that I've known have closed over the course of the last 5-10 years, because I've tracked them. But I'm seeing them still on the Coyote Business Center. One of them was Midwest Precision Tool and Die.
Mhm.
So shop, and it says like on the state's Secretary of State's website that they are dissolved. Um, will that be something the students will go back in and, kind of look at those things, make those updates?
Yes, actually, that's one of the things that I would like to do, because I know the database list is probably at least a year and a half old. So it's something that we can look at maybe doing some AI automation with it to do some validation and cleanup. And I know the first group had some validity scores with their information as far as, we were 50% certain that this company was still in business or 100%. I think they're, obviously the ones that are still in business, they um, had a higher score. So yeah, and also some feedback from companies or economic developers that, like you had said, I know this company has closed. If someone wants to contact us and let us know those things, or if you have a whole list of items that you think we should eliminate from there, that would be very helpful as well. So just some kind of cross-checking. I know the data cleanup is one of the things on my list for the students in phase 4. So yes, we'll be working on that too.
Okay, because what my goal would be, instead of us, doing a directory and sending out the surveys for the information, would be to actually have this option linked on our website. So when people call, they can just literally go to this website.
Okay. Yep, I will definitely talk to the students and say that's one of our number one goals to focus on for the next phase.
Awesome. And in the
Thank you.
meantime, I'll send you the information that I know for the ones that are closed.
Yep. And also if a company knows of something that's incorrect as far as their own company goes, like maybe they moved locations and we have an old address, we are happy to take that information as well. So I know I had to correct a few, and it was a lot more difficult to correct it as an Excel file than it is in here. So we welcome that information to keep the information updated and clean. So
So would you guys want to provide like a couple paragraph narrative that we could put out when we put our next newsletter out? That if you're a manufacturer, take a look, see if the information's correct.
yep, I sure can.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Work on it shortly.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else have any questions?
I just wanted to add on to the comment on within our reporting system for NIST MEP, we do have the ability to launch it's called launching an investigation. Sounds very scary and official, but basically if somebody's NAICS code is misclassified or something like that, or maybe someone's like often I'll go to put in a new client and we know they're a manufacturer, but maybe their business didn't start out in manufacturing, so they don't have that classification in their listing. So we have a way to have D&B check on that. So if there is, if there is somebody where you're just like, I don't, they're a manufacturer, I don't know why they're not showing up. If you give us that business name, we can launch those investigations as well as like in kind of a, one at a time thing as, you know, and that will help when we move into a phase where we're updating off the full database list. That will help keep that list up to date as well.
Yep. And also, I do have plans to actually get the same kind of database list, an updated version, just so we can do some comparisons to it, just to make sure that our information is up to date. It is difficult to keep up to date, but we want to do the best job we can with that. So, and the students love to do that sort of thing, so more power to them. But they want they want the continuous improvement and they welcome the feedback and they were bummed and disappointed that they weren't able to attend today and host for everyone, but they're very proud of their work and it has evolved and it can only get better. So if anyone has any other questions, otherwise I have a couple other slides and then I will provide the slide deck and I will let you know when the recording is available on our website in case you want to pass that along to your coworkers or clients or however that works. So all right. To this. All right, so if you have a minute or two to share your supply chain perspective, we're always looking for valuable input in this topic. It only takes a couple minutes to complete, and it'll help us better understand some challenges and opportunities for manufacturers in the supply chain space. Um, just take a moment to scan the QR code. I welcome your feedback. I'll leave that up here for a few seconds. And I just wanted to thank you for your time, and I'm always looking for opportunities to collaborate with our resource partners and clients. This is my contact information and a QR code to our website. Feel free to reach out. I believe my contact information was listed on the event as well, but if not, here it is. Feel free to reach out anytime if you're looking for a supplier, if you need help navigating this new tool that we have available. I just want to take a little moment to thank the University of South Dakota and their Coyote Business Consulting students. They're a great bunch of students, and especially Dan Tracy. He's their faculty advisor, and I've worked with him for each and every phase of this project. So he has been a valuable resource to the students and myself. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. And I will send this out to everyone after the webinar. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.